Okra Unveiled. A one-year time-lapse and ultimate guide to growing, harvesting, and enjoying the versatile plant. The okra plant, scientifically known as Abel Moschus esculentus, is a remarkable annual that holds a storied place in agriculture and cuisine around the globe. Often called lady's fingers for its slender, ridged pods, or gumbo, from a West African term. Okra is a member of the mallow family, a botanical kin to hibiscus and cotton. This guide delves into the complete life cycle of this incredible plant, from a tiny seed to a towering, productive specimen, all while sharing the personal journey of a gardener in a time-lapse narrative. 1. Okra's Genesis, a tale of ancient roots. The history of okra is as rich and complex as its unique flavor. Believed to have originated in the highlands of Ethiopia or the Nile Basin, okra has been cultivated for thousands of years. Early descriptions from 13th-century Egyptian travelers reveal its long-standing presence in the region. The plant's journey across continents is a testament to its hardiness. It was carried by traders from Africa to the Middle East, India, and Southeast Asia. Its arrival in the Americas, particularly the southern United States, is widely attributed to the transatlantic slave trade, where it quickly became a staple crop and a cornerstone of Southern cuisine, famously lending its unique texture to dishes like gumbo. This historical journey underscores okra's resilience. It is a plant that thrives in heat and can flourish in a variety of climates, a characteristic that made it a dependable food source for generations of people. Its presence in so many distinct culinary traditions, from Creole gumbo to Indian curries and Japanese tempura, speaks to its adaptability and the universal appeal of its mild, earthy taste. 2. The gardener's first month, sowing the seeds of hope. It was a late spring afternoon, the air still, and the soil warm beneath my trowel. I'd spent weeks preparing this patch of my garden, envisioning a forest of tall, leafy plants with striking yellow-white flowers. This was my okra time-lapse project, and it all began with a handful of tiny, round seeds. I soaked them overnight to give them a head start, a trick I'd heard from experienced growers. The next morning, they were slightly swollen, a visible sign of life waiting to begin. I planted the seeds about an inch deep in rows, spacing them a foot apart. The soil was a sandy loam, well drained and full of organic matter. I had chosen a spot in the garden that receives a full 6 to 8 hours of direct sun each day. As I knew okra is a sun worshipper, I watered the newly planted bed gently, careful not to disturb the seeds, and then waited. The first few days were a test of patience. But after a little over a week, I saw them, tiny, vibrant green sprouts, pushing their way through the dark soil, reaching for the sunlight. The promise of the okra garden had begun. 3. Cultivating the champion, a detailed guide to okra care. Growing a robust okra plant is a rewarding experience, but it requires understanding its specific needs. The plant is a heavy feeder and a lover of heat, so providing the right conditions is key to a bountiful harvest. Soil and planting. Okra tolerates a wide range of soil types but performs best in well-drained, fertile soil with a pH between 6.0 and 6.8. Planting should occur after all danger of frost has passed and the soil temperature is consistently above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. In cooler climates, starting seeds indoors a few weeks before the last frost can give your plants a crucial head start. Watering. While okra is moderately drought-tolerant, consistent watering is essential for maximum yield. The plant is most sensitive to moisture deficits during flowering and fruit development. Providing about 1 inch of water per week, especially during dry spells, will prevent flower drop and ensure the pods remain tender. Watering deeply and less frequently is better than shallow. Daily watering. Fertilizing. Start with a well-fertilized bed rich in organic matter. Okra benefits from a balanced fertilizer, such as a 1-4-1-4-1-4, applied at planting. Once the plants begin to flower, a side dressing of a high nitrogen fertilizer, like urea, can encourage continued vegetative growth and pod production. Pest and disease management. Okra is generally a hardy plant, but it is not immune to pests and diseases. Common culprits include aphids. These small insects suck sap from the plant, causing curled leaves and stunted growth. A strong spray of water can knock them off. or for severe infestations, an insecticidal soap can be effective. Corn earworms and stink bugs. These pests feed on the pods, making them unmarketable. Regular inspections and handpicking can help, as can the use of beneficial insects like ladybugs. Root knot nematodes. These microscopic worms cause galls on the roots, stunting the plant and reducing yield. The best defense is to avoid planting in nematode-infested soil and to practice crop rotation. Fungal diseases, e.g. fusarium wilt. Powdery mildew. These can cause wilting and white, powdery growth on leaves. Ensuring good air circulation and avoiding overhead watering can help prevent them. For the gardener's second month, the eruption of green. The first month had been about quiet observation, but the second month was a spectacle. The tiny sprouts transformed into a veritable jungle. The plants shot up, seemingly overnight, their stems thickening and their leaves, large, lobed, and beautiful, spreading wide to soak up the sun. This was the time-lapse moment I'd been waiting for. One day, a small, intricate bud would appear, and a day or two later, it would explode into a magnificent, hibiscus-like flower. The flowers were a creamy yellow, with a deep crimson center, a breathtaking contrast against the vibrant green of the foliage. I learned that each flower was a fleeting promise. It would open in the morning and by afternoon, it would be a shriveled memory, a signal that a new okra pod was on its way. The rapid pace of growth was truly something to behold. I'd watch the plant with a mix of awe and anticipation, knowing that this beautiful bloom was the prelude to the first harvest. 5. A world of okra. Exploring the varieties and culinary magic. Beyond its classic green form, okra comes in a surprising array of shapes, sizes, and colors. Selecting the right variety can make a big difference in your harvest and kitchen. Clemson Spineless, the most popular and widely available variety. It's known for its high yield, consistent performance, and its near-spineless stems, which makes harvesting a much more pleasant experience. Burgundy, a beautiful and striking red podded variety. The pods turn green when cooked, but the plant itself is a stunning ornamental addition to any garden. Louisiana Green Velvet. This variety produces very long, smooth pods that remain tender even when they reach a length of 7 inches or more, reducing the need for daily harvesting. Star of David, a thick, ribbed pod variety from Israel. The pods are best picked when they are small and tender, as they can become woody quickly. The culinary journey. Okra's mild flavor and unique texture make it a highly versatile ingredient in kitchens worldwide. Southern cuisine. Famed for its use in gumbo, where its mucilage, the gel-like substance, acts as a natural thickener. It is also often fried in a cornmeal batter or stewed with tomatoes and bacon. A classic summerside dish. Middle Eastern cuisine, known as bamia. It is often stewed with tomatoes and lamb or beef, seasoned with garlic and coriander, and served over rice. Indian cuisine. Okra, or bhindi, is a staple vegetable. It's often stir-fried with spices to make a dry curry, bhindi masala, or added to stews and lentil dishes. Malaysian cuisine. Used in spicy and tangy curries or stir-fried with sambal chili paste. Japanese cuisine. Often served raw with a dipping sauce or lightly battered and deep-fried as tempura. 6. The gardener's third month, the golden age of harvest. The garden had become a daily source of sustenance and joy. My okra plants were now taller than me, their branches laden with beautiful, ridged pods. My daily ritual was to go out with a basket and a pair of gloves. The latter a lesson learned the hard way after an encounter with the fine, irritating spines on some varieties. The pods were ready for harvest when they were about 3 to 4 inches long. I'd snap them off with a quick twist, leaving a short stem attached. The key was to harvest every 2 to 3 days. I quickly learned that an over-mature pod, left on the plant for even a day too long, would become tough and inedible, sapping the plant's energy and reducing its overall yield. Each morning, I would gather a new batch of tender pods, a continuous cycle of growth and reward. This daily harvest felt like a dialogue with the garden, a reciprocal relationship of care and nourishment. 7. The nutritional powerhouse. Why okra is more than just a vegetable. Okra is not only delicious but also a nutritional champion. Its pods are packed with a wide range of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that offer significant health benefits. Nutritional profile, per 1/2 cup cooked. Calories, 18. Carbohydrates, 4 grams. Protein, 1.5 grams. Fiber, 2 grams. Vitamin K, 27% daily value, DV, essential for blood clotting and bone health. Vitamin C, 22% DV, a powerful antioxidant that supports the immune system. Magnesium, 7% DV, important for nerve function and muscle health. Folate, 9% DV, crucial for cell growth and DNA formation. Especially during pregnancy. Okra's high fiber content, particularly a type of soluble fiber called pectin, is one of its most celebrated attributes. This fiber forms a gel-like substance in the gut that can bind to cholesterol, helping to lower blood cholesterol levels. It also helps stabilize blood sugar by slowing down the absorption of sugars and carbohydrates. The plant's antioxidants, including polyphenols and flavonoids, help fight off oxidative stress, which is linked to chronic diseases. 8 Okra's relatives, a comparison with other garden staples. The unique qualities of okra are often best understood when compared to other popular vegetables. Here are some key comparisons. Okra versus bitter melon. Both are heat-loving plants common in Asian and African cuisine. However, bitter melon is known for its intensely bitter flavor and bumpy skin, while okra has a mild, earthy taste and a slick, viscous texture. Okra versus green beans. Both are pod-producing plants, but their textures and uses differ significantly. Green beans are crisp and watery, while okra is soft and often slimy when cooked. Green beans are a legume, while okra is a member of the mallow family. Okra versus squash. Both belong to the plant family, but they are not botanical relatives. Okra has long, slender pods, while squash comes in many shapes and sizes. While both can be added to stews, okra's mucilage acts as a natural thickener in a way that squash cannot. Okra versus zucchini. Like squash, zucchini is a non-relative that is often confused with okra in a culinary context. While both are used in similar dishes like stir-fries and ratatouille, zucchini is a watery vegetable that offers a different texture profile and does not produce the characteristic slime that okra does. 9. The gardener's end of season. A moment of reflection. By late summer, my okra plants were starting to show their age. The leaves were yellowing, and the pod production was slowing down. The plants were tall and spindly, and I knew their time was coming to an end. This was a bittersweet period. I had a freezer full of harvested pods, ready for winter stews and curries. The plant's life cycle was a powerful reminder of nature's rhythm. From the delicate seed to the towering plant, each stage had its own challenges and rewards. I would leave some of the last pods on the plant to mature fully, their seeds becoming dry and hard. I would save them to plant again next year, continuing the cycle. The okra plant, with its remarkable resilience and bounty, had not just provided me with food, it had taught me a valuable lesson about patience, persistence, and the profound satisfaction of watching something beautiful grow from nothing. Frequently asked questions about okra. Q. Why is my okra slimy when I cook it? A. Okra contains a substance called mucilage, which is responsible for its signature slimy texture. This can be reduced by cooking methods such as high-heat sautéing, frying, or roasting, as well as by adding an acidic ingredient like vinegar, lemon juice, or tomatoes. Q. Can I grow okra in a container? A. Yes, you can. Dwarf varieties like Baby Bubba are excellent choices for container gardening. Just be sure to use a large pot, at least 5 gallons, with good drainage and provide ample sunlight. Q. Do I need to wear gloves when I harvest okra? A. Most modern varieties, especially Clemson spineless, are virtually thornless. However, some older and wilder varieties have fine, irritating hairs or spines on their pods and stems, so wearing gloves is a good precaution. Q. How do I store fresh okra? A. Fresh okra pods should be stored unwashed in a paper bag in the refrigerator's crisper drawer. They will last for about 1 week. For longer storage, you can blanch the pods and freeze them. Q. What is the ideal temperature for growing okra? A. Okra is a warm season crop that thrives in temperatures between 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. It requires a long, hot growing season to produce a good crop.